All right, folks, I hope you are ready for round three here at Texas. Man, I am really excited for this one, folks. A 1.5-mile track. We're going to an intermediate. We already got some people out there in chat. Rena already checking in saying good luck tonight. Let's go number 37. And then Woody says, let's go Shane. And then Revved Up Racing there by Jacob Wilson rooting Revved Up Racing. I'll tell you, they will have had a fantastic first couple of races, folks. We had Alex Anderson bring home that win in our very first race there at Talladega. And then we've got last week a great performance there by Kenny, putting on a fantastic run at Iowa. So now we are going to go to this intermediate. And we're going to see what these drivers can do here at Texas Motor Speedway. Want to talk about the track just a little bit, but while we are watching these drivers go around here and qualifying, I want to pop up our schedule just so that everybody is aware of where we are going this season. You can see, again, we are now at Texas. We go to Auto Club next week, so that's going to be quite a different track than what we are used to seeing. Auto Club is not racing anymore, but that is a flat track. Going to be a lot of heat in the surface on that thing. It's just a different animal than the rest of these tracks. Then we're going to go to Mid-Ohio. We're going to go to some road courses. We got Kansas coming up, Indy coming up. All right, Matt, I certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much. We'll try that volume. Everybody just let me know how that volume is going there with the cars as we go around the track. Let me see if I can back that volume down a little bit. And then we got our championship run. That's going to start there in October, late October. We're going to go Michigan, Road America, Charlotte, Bristol, and Vegas. And I got to tell you, if you are lining up some championship races, that is going to be quite fantastic. You got Michigan track's going to be a nice draft track. You've got Road America, the road course. You've got Charlotte, which is going to be really heavy on the right front on these cars. It's going to show a lot of skill in tire wear. Then you've got Bristol, that short track, and then you go to Vegas, which can get super slippery at night. So appreciate everybody joining in. Thank you very much. We are going to get rid of this schedule, and then we're going to hop into the points section. As you can see, Alex Anderson still leading the way. JD is going to be in second, and Kenny now taking over that third place. And you can see that your two winners, Alex and Kenny, both 5 points there, 4 championship points. So just keep that in mind when we get ready to go to our championship 4 races. These drivers picking up these wins is really going to help them out when they see who is going to take that overall lead heading into that championship. So very excited to see that. Now let's talk about this track just for a minute, because Texas is a bit of a different animal than what most of the tracks you can see, especially most of your intermediate tracks, because 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 are so completely different. So 1 and 2, when you get into those turns, you can do 2 different things. There is a midline in 1 and 2, and you will see some drivers do that. Now, we might have drivers do that on purpose, or we could potentially have drivers do that because they missed the bottom or missed that braking zone. But that midline and that mid exit is pretty predominant through this race, especially in this Gen 4 that has a lot of grunt power off of the exit of 2. 3 and 4 is a different corner completely than 1 and 2. A lot of high bank. They can really just pull back on the throttle a little bit, but leave a little throttle in if they want to hang the right front. If they want to put more on the right rear, they let off completely going into 3, and then they can get right back on the gas. So they're going to play some games here on tire wear and see a lot of these drivers going through that. Now, as you can see, we're going to have about 19 drivers out here on the field tonight. A few more drivers than what we had last week. I think we had 17. So, man, I am excited for this one. Checking back in, Zebra saying that they botched the qualifying. Zebra, who are you there on the tower? Van Kirk saying, let's go, JD. So, Rachel, we talked about that a little bit earlier. I don't know if you were in the chat when we talked about the points, but JD second in points right now. So, fantastic job by him. Let's go, Nick Baum, Cheesy Rider in the chat. Ricky Hicks saying, let's go mid-tier racing. So, it does look like now you can see we are done with our qualifying. So let's see if we can pop up these qualifying results and see who we're going to have here. So as you can see, Alex Anderson, we saw him win week 1. He is back on the pole. He started in the very back at Iowa, worked his way all the way to the front. Christian Proctor with a great run at Iowa last week. He is going to be 2nd. Nick is going to be 3rd. Jeremy Gill in 4th. Rob Higgs in 5th. Van Thorndike is going to be 6th. Zach White in 7th. JD in 8th. Dylan Jacobs in 9th. Matt is going to be 10th. Ledesma in 11th. Davis in 12th. Austin Drafty in 14th. Nick Raffini in 15th. Kenny, your last week's winner, is going to start in 16th. Robert is going to be in 17th. Dan is going to be 18th. 19th is Chandler. Dylan is 20th. Shane Weldon 21st. Jake Raven in 22nd. Raffini in 23rd. And then we are going to have Robert rounding out your 24 drivers here as we get ready to go. So let's hide this, and we are going to see if we can get to some of these drivers. And as we got about 3.5 minute warm up, let's go take a look at the race info and see what we have. So 74 degrees is going to be your temperature out here. Going to have a little bit hotter track temperature. That's going to be about 118 degrees. So what that is going to mean is the apex in 1 and 2 and the exit of 4 is going to start to get loose. So what's going to happen, folks, as you're going to see these drivers start to get a little bit of tire wear on the exit of 4, they're going to have a little bit loose condition. They're going to track it up the racetrack to try to catch it. When they do that, they are going to hit that outside wall. So look for a lot of drivers making some pretty heavy impacts there on that outside wall. You can see here 1.46 miles at Texas Motor Speedway. Partly cloudy conditions. It's going to be nice and sunny tonight. You're going to have a couple of clouds, maybe shade some of the turns as we go throughout the night. But no matter what is going to happen, 118 degrees, this thing is going to be fast and it is going to be slick. Yeah, Josh, I see that. He says, I'm not Drafty. Yeah, as you can see, it showed that the commentator is Drafty. No, I am not. Drafty is going to be out there on the track. I am your commentator, your broadcaster tonight, John Ross. Certainly appreciate everybody joining in here for week 3 of your top tier racing in the Gen 4 series. All right, so a couple of more minutes of warm-up, and normally when we have these warm-ups and we got a little bit of time in between racing, we try to pick a winner tonight. I'll tell you what I have seen, and as we go down these drivers, I see a lot of drivers with a lot of strengths, and I'm thinking about Texas, this intermediate track, 1.46 miles. It's going to be a tire-saving track. I'll tell you, I think Kenny has his work cut out for him. He was really good on the long run in tires last week. But he's going to have a battle getting from the back of this pack. So I don't know if I'm going to go with Kenny. Alex with a super quick car last week at Iowa. I did see him fall off later on in the runs to Kenny. So maybe he is not the one that we're going to look to tonight. I will tell you, I like this driver, Nick Baum. He's sitting in 3rd. He showed a lot of poise last week at Iowa. He showed a lot of driver skill there at our first race at Daytona. So a plate track. Then we go to Iowa on a short track. Ran really strong there. So it seems to me like this driver really has it together. I think he plays the long game. That's really going to help him at a track like Texas. So my pick tonight is going to be Nick. That is the #1 card. Nick Baum is going to be my pick tonight. Folks, out there in chat, let us know who you are picking. We will certainly throw that out there and let everyone know here with about 30 seconds left. Josh in the chat saying, let's go Royalty Motorsports. Josh, there are a lot of Royalty Motorsport drivers out there, and we can tell that by their paint schemes. And looks like Cheesy out there saying a couple of grenades, a couple of bombs. I believe Cheesy was voting. Cheesy, who did you vote? Who would you talk about earlier on here? Oh, Nick Baum. Okay, yep. So there it is. I guess those are bombs. Cheesy Rider agreeing with me. Nick Baum may be the driver to look out for tonight. I'll tell you, you are going to see some fireworks as they're going to fight through. You're going to see a lot of drivers push up middle of 3 and 4. Some of those drivers are going to try to get underneath of them, and you're going to have a lot of wall touches. And so you're going to see a ton of close racing tonight. All right, as you can see, we are done with that warm-up. Now it is time to strap it in, folks. We have 100 laps here at Texas in these Gen 4 cars. Let me know how that volume works there on the sound of these Gen 4. They're going to hit some pretty high RPMs. I would assume here by the end of these straightaways, you're going to hear them get up to about 9,000 RPM. So, and again, this different, you know, once they went through a lot of those updates, this Gen 4 drives so completely different. It's really heavy on that right front. So a lot of those drivers are going to have to watch that right front tire as they go throughout the night. Christian Proctor had a great run. He was on pole at Iowa. He is now your outside pole sitter tonight. So Christian Proctor in that Hello Kitty machine, he has shown a ton of speed as well. Jeremy Gill, the 4 car, he had some great runs. I remember, let's see if we can go back to 04 car of Raffini, really quick on short runs at Iowa. Another driver to keep your eye on. So just drivers from the top of this field all the way into the back of this field, certainly capable of bringing home the checkered flag tonight. All right, Josh will bring that down again as now these drivers, you can see Alex Anderson, that 67 machine, bringing them down here to the checkered flag, to the green flag, and the start of this 100-lap race. Now you can see Alex getting a little bit loose. Already on throttle. That Gen 4 spinning the tires just a little bit. Now he's going to be side by side with Christian Proctor going into turn 1. All right, Christian is going to slot himself in. No, he is not. Now he's going to look down to the inside. He is going to take that 3 and 4 line down to the inside again. We talked about this. That 67 is in a good defensive position. Side by side, they go down the straightaway. Man, Alex, really good running that middle line in 1 and 2. He is going to get that done. So Alex is going to retain that lead. It looks like Christian may be getting down to the apron a little bit, but now these drivers have a pretty good gap here already to 3rd and 4th. Now Nick Baum on the move all over the back end of Jeremy in that 4 car. JD right behind him. Yeah, thanks, folks. I certainly appreciate that. Jeff out there saying you're getting drowned out still. I believe I made some more adjustments, Jeff. So let me know how all of that sounds. All right, Nick trying to work the outside. He is going to get that done. He's going to put a left fender to that quarter panel there of the 4, and he is going to get this pass done. I believe the 4 backing off. So Jeremy Gill sliding back there to 4th. Nick is going to be up to 3rd position. Now Jeremy under fire here by JD. Man, there are battles going on all around this track as now we're going to go back here to Drafty. He is looking under this 85 car. The Drafty a little loose. You can see him really heavy under braking. He's going to slide up right in front of the 85. Now the 85 may be crossing over. Drafty is going to have your preferred line here going into 3 and 4. This is going to be an easier line to defend early, folks, but I can tell you, the longer you spend up top right here, the worse those tires are going to be. Now, it looks like Drafty's going to get a bit of help from the 04 car. Davis taking that turn extremely nice through 1 and 2. Oh, they're going to get super tight there going into 3. Davis still down at the bottom. These tires now with a little bit of heat in them, you might start to see that bottom line catching up. Now, JD, it looks like JD had some issues. JD way off pace, continuing to slide back as Drafty is going to get that pass done. Now the 04 of Raffini working on the 85, and he's going to get that done. Now Drafty is under attack. Nick starting to move his way forward. It looks like Drafty with a very nice 3 and 4. We're going to continue to slide back here in the field. JD again sliding way back, now becoming under fire here by Ledesma. Both those drivers, JD and Ledesma, taking that shorter exit, that more shallow exit here out of 2. Looks like whatever happened to JD is starting to catch himself. Back up on the wheel now. He's starting to look to the inside of Davis. All right, we're going to go back up here now. Jeremy under attack. Matt, we saw Matt upside down. I believe it was at Daytona on his top. He had a fantastic run early on there. Late race wreck put him on his top, but now he is back. Put this driver up to 5th position. He is all over the back end of the 4. Closest battle on the track right now, folks. It's going to be these 2 drivers right here. This is 1st and 2nd. This is Alex Anderson. That's Christian Proctor right behind him. Christian taking that midline. We talked about that earlier on in the pre-race, that 1 and 2 midline. I do believe Alex's tires are going to hold up a bit better on that right front than what Christian's are. So you can see Christian really sliding that car. Let's see if we can go on board with Christian on entry. Now you can see Christian starting to work down to the bottom. Alex trying to feed him dirty air. I believe he thought Christian might go to that intermediate line. He didn't take it. Now Christian really high on the entry of 3 and 4. You can hear him really playing with that throttle. Now he's into that wall. All right, this battle starting to heat up. Raffini wants this spot. Davis is trying to hold him off. Now, Nick looking underneath. Wow, they get extremely close as the 85 is going to come down right in front of the 04, feed him all of that dirty air. JD right back there. It does look like Ledesma able to make that pass. And then right behind JD is going to be the 81 of Jacobs and Jake Raven, all making their way up here. And they might go 3 wide. No, it does look like JD's going to swing to the outside. Man, JD's going to take 3 and 4 extremely shallow. He's going to get down on that apron. Jake really low in 1 and 2. I believe he's going to be able to get that pass done. He is. So Jake is going to move in front of JD. Now Drafty way off of the pace. I don't see any damage on that car. He is sliding back 1 to save tire. It does look like he might be a little bit loose. Let's see if we can go on board with Drafty. I can't really find him. There he is. Let's see what's going on with Drafty here. Robert White is down pit road getting service right now. Drafty, it looks like he has come down pit road, so maybe some damage by both of those drivers. Again, heavy impact to the wall, babies. Now JD's going to get extremely high on the exit of that turn. Yeah, Drafty definitely has some fresh tires on that Gen 4 car. Getting around JD, they're on the outside. Power move, Jake now. Working his way around. So let's go right back up here because we still have a hot contested battle. Nick Baum being passed by Gil in the 4 car. It looks like Gil is starting to work his way up. Gil, last lap, a 31.84, but your fastest driver out on the track, 2 drivers, Jake Raven in that 37 with a 31.66, but second on that list is your leader here, Alex Anderson, now starting to put some distance on Christian Proctor. You can see that gap up to 1.8 seconds. 1.98 seconds now. So Anderson starting to turn the lap times he was looking for. And as you can tell, folks, he was running that low line. Look at it, wrapped right there on the bottom. Those left side tires stuck to that white line. Pacing around this track, Christian all over him at the very beginning. Now it looks like the tires are starting to give way for Christian. That 4 car getting by Baum. Now Gil is up to that 3rd slot. 20 laps gone already in this race. All right, let's go right back here and take a look. Ledesma on the march. Looking underneath of the 14 here of Rob. Now this, folks, is going to be for your 11th position. Ledesma is going to dive that down. He's going to split that seam. Rob with a fantastic 1 and 2 himself. He's going to hang on to the outside of that turn on the exit of 2. And man, he is going to carry a ton of speed in 3 and 4. I believe the 14 is going to get this done on the outside. What a power move there by Higgs. Kenny saying, let's go revved up. Kenny, what happened to you? Last week's winner now in chat. Man, your lead now up to 3.6 seconds. Alex Anderson over Christian Proctor, just setting sail. Got another battle right here. JD battling with the 81. 81 there is Dylan Jacobs. Dylan taking that high line. He's going to have a fantastic run here off of the exit of 2. It does look like in these Gen 4s, that intermediate and high exit in 2 is really paying off for a lot of these drivers. 14 not far behind, so Rob Higgs, he has saved those tires, folks, and he is marching to the front in a massive way. Let's take a look and see where he was at last lap. Yeah, he is 3rd fastest on the track. Your fastest driver still right now, Jake Raven. into 37. Jake is up 15 spots. So bad qualifying effort by the 37, but man, he has a ton of speed at this Texas Motor Speedway. We are now 25 going to 26 laps into a 100-lap race. Oh, and yellow flag is out. And this looks like it could be Raffini. Let's see if we can find out if Raffini was involved. Yeah, Jack. Oh, there it is. And then the 14. It looks like he just got off into the marbles there, slowed it down, got into the 14 machine. Oh, and he is just going to pick up some innocent drivers here. Let's go back and take a look at this once again. One more time here. Yeah, so he's just going to get off into the grass. He's going to have to slow it up. That leaves Hicks with nowhere to go, and he's going to have heavy right front damage. JD is going to go below, and it looks like the Desma kind of bumps him right into the left rear quarter panel, right rear quarter panel of the 32. So quite a few drivers getting caught up in that. Now let's go back and see if we can find out what is going on here down pit lane. Alex Anderson, your leader, not only your pole sitter, but out to about a 4-second lead by the end of this thing. 14, Rob Higgs, he is down, already getting damage worked on that Gen 4 machine. He is going to back that out. Look like Jeremy Gillen, the 4, slid through his pits just a little. JD is in. Oh, Christian with a fantastic jump there, and you're going to have Nick Baum is going to come out in third. Looks like Matt, you're going to have the 37 of Jake. Now it's going to be interesting to see what Jake can do. Already up 15 positions. Oh, race over, blown motor. Man, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. Good news is we are 3 races in. It is a very young season. We've got some time to come back from that. But, man, had a fantastic run going. Really quick car, especially there on Higgs in that 14. On that, after we got some laps on those tires, really started moving through the field. Showed a lot of pace. Yeah, Ricky, Rob was definitely moving. Lots of pace there at the end of that. Shame that that he got caught up in that, but that is part of racing. Now you can see the lights are off on that pace car. Alex Anderson is going to bring them down yet again. Christian Proctor right there on the outside again. Nick Baum in third. You got the 72 of Matt there on the outside of Nick. Jake starting off in fifth. And you got Davis right on the outside of him there in the 85, that Sunoco machine. 04 of Nick Raffini in seventh. And then Jacobs in the 81 there on the outside of him. You can hear those drivers starting to heat the tires up. Everybody in first gear. Sounds like a first gear start for these Gen 4s. So here we go. We're going to go back green. 29 laps of the 100 are going to be in the books when this green flag drops. Alex Anderson again inside that Geico restart zone. And there he goes. Very nice jump by him. Alex, really nice jump. He is able to get out. It does look like Matt takes that third position away from Nick Baum. Nick's going to be really close to him there in 3 and 4. All over the back end, Nick Baum, Matt Baines, they are fighting each other tooth and nail. Matt is going to drive that car into the turn 1, right through that apex. Jake Raven is going to slide himself back into 6th now. He started out in 5th. Davis is going to take over that 5th spot from Nick, or I'm sorry, from Jake. 44 of Ledesma is going to be up to 7th position now, with Thorndike right there in 8th. Man, we have cars stacked up nose to tail right back here, folks. That 59 of Thorndike with a fantastic run. Nick Ruffini right behind him. Paul at 24, Jeremy Gill behind him, the 81 of Jacobs. All of these drivers just tucked in line here, nose to tail. It does look like Jack Ruffini was able to get out of the pits. He was the driver that was involved in that incident. On lap 27, Nick Ruffini is going to be on the outside of Ledesma. He might be able to get that done. It looks like he got pretty tight on the exit of 4. So he is not able to get that done. He's going to have to fall back in line. Nick again working that intermediate line, trying to get a great run off. You can see the 32 there of Jack. He is off pace down at the very bottom. Oh my goodness, the 24 driving it in really hard on the back end there of Ruffini. Slowing it down just in time. He might open the door there for Jeremy. He did not. He was able to break that, to come across the 4's nose there and block that. It looks like he had a really good run, the 4, on the exit of that turn. He was able to block it, but now the 4 little loose to the tri-oval. Right on the back end there of the 24. Now the 24 going to go high. Looks like he's just going to miss the entry of that turn. He might give way to the 4. Not only is he not going to give way, folks, but that 24 now taking a look to the outside of the 04. He's going to slot right back in line. Now the 4 is going to look to the outside of Nick. Man, Ledesma is loving this. As long as these drivers can fight behind him, he is going to start creeping his way out in front. Now that gap to the leader and 2nd position, 4 tenths. Austin in that 24 is still looking. Waiting for these drivers to figure it out. Jeremy Gill is going to make that pass there on Ruffini. Now the 24 of Austin might be getting passed here by the 81 of Jacobs. And I believe the 81 is going to get that done. The 24 is going to get loose. Man, it does look like these cars are a handful right now. All right, Ledesma able to sneak away while those drivers were fighting, but it does look like Jeremy has caught back to the bumper of Ledesma. Oh, what a great run he's got here on the 44. He's going to get tight and push out. He was able to get off of the throttle there in 3 and add throttle a little bit sooner than what Ledesma was able to do. But man, once the 44 come across his nose there and gave him that dirty air, you just saw that car shoot up there to the outside wall. Now taking that higher line, going to try to run this thing down to the bottom. Man, he is really good in 3 and 4 right now. He's having to get off of the throttle again. This is going to cool down just a little bit, but right behind him, Raffini looks like he's going to take that low line, but the 81 has found something at the top here. So Dylan Jacobs is going to get by Nick Raffini, and he is going to take over that 10th spot. Let's go back up here. Davis sitting in your 5th position. Jim in that 59. He wants that top 5. Right behind him is Jake. Remember, Jake, one of your faster drivers at the end of that last run. But I'll tell you, the big question is going to be, like, if you look at Jake, he is 5 seconds behind your leader there of Alex Anderson. So Jake is going to have to get something done now. Wow, the 59 just extremely loose there on the exit at 2. Able to gather that car back up, keep running down the track. Man, Jake moving forward now, 37. Just like we saw in that first run, that first stint, those tires start to come in. He really knows how to get these tires of this Gen 4 to work and do what he wants them to do. Want to go right back up here because it does look like Matt was able to track down Christian Proctor and get that done. Nick Baum right behind that driver too. So Nick now looking, he was able to save some tire earlier. So we've got this is a 3-way battle here for your 2nd position, folks. Nick getting that pass done there on Matt. Right behind them, Christian Proctor. Christian, we saw him earlier with a lot of speed, you know, at the beginning with fresh tires starting to fall back again. Now all of these drivers about 2.2 seconds behind your leader of Alex Anderson. Still battling. Nick now firmly in 2nd position. It looks like Matt is going to hold on to 3rd. Christian Proctor now back to 4th. Let's go right back here and take a look at Jeremy. Still fighting with Nick. Ledesma right there. Dylan Jacobs has started to slide back. The tires starting to come into play. This is about the time that we saw tires take a major toll, and we saw drivers like Raven and Higgs start to move forward. Are we going to see that again? Now, it does look like that 37 has made the pass for 5th. Raffini working his way back. Jeremy really quick on fresh tires. He's starting to fall back. Ledesma right there in the 44. It does look like Raffini a bit quicker on the entry of 3. Nick Baum will keep an eye on this lead. Nick Baum was a bit faster, a slight amount faster, a little bit less than a 10th quicker than your leader last lap. You can see that gap now about 2.2 seconds. So he's got his work cut out for him. All right, we're going to go back up here. Matt in third position. Christian Proctor in fourth now. Christian slid back from second to fourth. Jake right behind him in fifth. Let's take a look at Jake, see what his lap times are doing. A 31.94 last lap to a 31.6 by your leader, Alex Anderson. So it does look like Anderson putting some gaps on these drivers. Let's go back and take a look at Dylan Jacobson at 81. What happened to him? Oh, he's just going to get into the wall pretty heavy on the exit of 4. We talked about that earlier in the pre-race. He's going to run that thing all the way through the infield. Get that thing slowed down, but man, that is going to cost him quite a few positions. Now we're going to take a look at Christian Proctor and Jake. Jake, we saw him earlier in stint 1 working his way up. He is doing that same thing now, looking underneath of Proctor. Man, Proctor holding strong on the outside. I just don't think he's got the right front tire to hang on to that. Jake able to keep the right front tire nice and cool on that car as he's going to go around Proctor right into his tire tracks. But man, Jake on the throttle early as Proctor's going to push wide and get loose. That is going to slide Proctor right back here to Jim. Jim is going to make that move. So Christian sliding back in a pretty heavy way here. Just those tires giving up on him. As you can see, that gap was about 2.2, now about 2.5. So the growth by Alex Anderson has slowed, but man, it is going to be a long crawl back to that driver, as now it looks like Jake still on the march. He is still taking steering wheels away from drivers. Now looking at this third position of Matt. He's going to dive down to the inside. Matt, not a whole lot he can do. This driver's just turning so well through the apex of the turns. Jake really under control in that car. He's going to get a little loose. You can see him wobble a bit on the exit there, but he's got this car under control. So this 37 driver's up yet another position, now up to third. 5 seconds behind your leader, about 5.2 seconds behind your leader, as a matter of fact. But let's see what he can do here out in clean air, and we're going to keep an eye on those lap times. So we're going to slide right back here. These drivers have been under a blanket this entire race. Now Gil able to get back around Raffini, and it does look like the 81 has some heavy damage there to the right-hand side. You can see that right front wheel just wobbling on that car. I believe his night is over. But Gil was able to get this passed on. Davis in the 85, which was really close to these drivers, has now started to sneak away. Raffini looking low. He's not going to get that done. Gil is going to shut him down. I will tell you, Ledesma in that 44 is driving a fantastic race. This is the best I've seen this driver this season. Raffini looking low again. Him and Jeremy have been tied the 04 and the 4. attached at the hip ever since this thing has went green. 58 laps on the board now. We're going to come to the line at 59 of 100 to go. 100 in total. Dylan has taken that car to the pit lane. Gil got a great run on Ledesma. Now Ledesma either swerving the block. Oh, and he's going to get into the back of him. Ledesma into the wall heavy. Oh, we saw that in real time. Let's see if we can back that up, because it looked like that 44 just gets loose and he's going to swerve back. And Gil is just, it doesn't look like he's going to let up. And let's speed this up just a little bit quicker here. Yeah, he's just going to get right into the back of Ledesma. Let's go back and take a look again here. So they're coming off a 2. Ledesma gets loose. He's getting loose again. Loose again. He's going to have to back off. Man, that is just a tough deal by both drivers here. All right, we're going to go down pit road. And while we go down pit road, folks, we are going to take that time to pay a few bills here. We are going to go to this commercial break, so we'll be right back with you. All right, we're bringing it right back. Certainly appreciate everyone sticking it out with us here. We're going to reset this thing. Alex Anderson has led this race from that pole position every single lap here. We are going to go green at lap 62 of 100 laps in this race. Texas Motor Speedway. We have already had some fireworks, and there have to be more fireworks coming ahead. It looked like we got a little tie up there in the entry of turn 3. We are all squared away now. The outside is going to be Nick Baum there in second position. What a great run that last stint by him. That 37 machine at the bottom there of Raven was your fastest car by the end of that. But again, if you give up about 5 seconds to the leader, you're going to have to really split that in half and try to be the quicker car at the end, but not give up as much time. Christian Proctor, fantastic on fresh tires. He is going to be the outside there in fourth, as now they come down here into the Geico restart zone. 67 machine bringing them down once again. And he is going to fire off with another nice jump. Nick not too far behind him this time. Man, Jake is staying low, staying underneath the Nick. Nick is going to go high. Christian might be looking 3. He did not look 3. He's going to stay behind Jake there in the 37. Jake might get that pass done. He's going to. Proctor's going to look underneath the Nick now. Proctor's not going to get that done, but Matt is right behind him now. Matt looking to the outside of Proctor. Here he goes to that 72 car. While these tires are fresh, that intermediate, that middle line, really strong in 1 and 2. They are stacked up as Alex already out to a 1 second lead over these drivers. As they are going to keep fighting now, it looks like Jake is going to get a bit of breathing room between him and Nick. Christian just staying aggressive early, getting everything that he can. All over the back end of Nick. Nick is having to play more defense than he can play offense here. Matt is going to be on the outside. Now there might look 3. Matt's going to have a great run here. He's not going to be able to get that run done, but Christian is going to be underneath of Nick Baum. I don't think there's a whole lot Nick could do here. Side by side they go. Both of those drivers catching up to Jake just a little. And now Nick driving that thing off of the exit of 4. Scraping the wall there with the right rear. Yeah, Rena saying, let's go Hyperspeed Motorsports. And that is Baum and Raven. Man, they are having some battles right now. Nick Baum is tied into it. They are arm wrestling. Christian is going to get loose down on the apron. That is going to open the door there for Matt. Matt's going to look to cross him over. 59 right behind Matt now. Jim looking underneath of him. Christian is going to cross over Matt. Christian up on the wheel. His elbows are out, folks. He is doing everything that he can to keep these positions, but as he does, he is getting that car loose. Now Jake right there in second. Nick behind him. Nick really good on fresh tires as well. I think Jake likes to see those tires come in a bit more later on, about mid to late run. Oh no, folks, if you look at this is second through about 8th here on your screen, all in one shot. That's how close these drivers are. That's the skill level that you've got here. Second, that might be 2nd through 9th. Christian Proctor still working on the back end of Matt. He is back underneath of him. Only 30 laps remain in this race. Christian doing everything he can to take full advantage of those fresh tires. Jake looks like he's reeling in Alex a little bit. I was very interested to see what would happen. Jake with a really good car. I thought he needed to turn it on a bit more in the early run, and it looks like he's doing that. Now cutting that down another 10th to your leader. Alex potentially saving some tire out front. He has led every single lap of this thing outside of some weird caution deal, but under green, he has just been lights out tonight. And man, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you can see all underneath of a blanket here. Just a handful of laps to go, and we're going to start counting this thing backwards from 25 down. Jake still with a lot more shallower entry. You can see that now 0.7 of a second is going to separate him and Anderson. Anderson a little loose on the exit of 2. Shows you that that car, that 67, he is pushing this thing a bit. Jake proven to have a lot of speed. Anderson, again, he's going to get a bit tight on the exit of 4, so maybe a few chinks in the armor here. 0.5 separate your first and second position. 32 down at the bottom. Hopefully he just sticks down there. He is going to. Let these drivers get by. That is going to help. It looks like it's going to help Alex quite a bit. Nick Baumer right behind the 37. Half a second is going to separate your first through your third place positions. We're going to go back and take a look real quick at this, because it does look like Shane and Altman are going to be in a battle. Altman downloaded that 94. Shane's going to have a great exit. Very nice speed there by Shane on the exit of 4. Altman's going to stay right below him. I believe the 94 is going to get that done. Yes, he is. He is going to get that pass done, folks. Shane's going to follow in the tire tracks. Just use that draft. Help him get towed around this Texas Motor Speedway, especially through that first tri-oval there on the front stretch. Jack Ruffini back in the pits of that 32 machine. All right, Thorndike, he is under fire. Davis in that 85 was right behind him. It does look like he was backed way off here, as now you can see Christian so good on those fresh tires. Falling back again like he has in the first few stints. Matt is working the outside. He is going to get the outside lane. Christian is going to stay low. Matt with a lot of momentum. Now they're going to get extremely tight there. Matt comes out a little early. He's going to get loose. Christian all over him. Now they're going to touch on the exit of 4. That's going to allow Jim to be on the outside there of Christian. Man, Matt is going to shut the door on Jim, not allow him to get there. There was a moment. Christian and Matt having a moment there. That's going to stack everybody up behind. Now caution is out. JD showing as crashed. With 23 laps to go, we'll let everybody slow down. We're going to take a breath here. Let's go back and take a look at JD. JD coming through the tri-oval. Oh, and it looks like the 77 is going to get in. Maybe a bit of net code, but it does look like Zach White is going to send the 22 for a loop. Doesn't look like JD's got any damage to that car, so we're going to get ourselves back live here and take a look, because I do believe you're going to want to come down and get some fresh rubber with 22 laps to go. This is going to be a shootout. And we're going to let these drivers get these tires changed, but we're going to see if we can pull somebody up and have a chat with them. Do you take 4? Do you take 2? 21 laps to go. If you're in the back, maybe from like 7th back, maybe you want to try to Jeremy get with a ton of damage on the front end of that car. Oh my goodness, Alex is going to get that car sideways. The 59 is going to spin down pit road. Oh, and he's going to back up in front of the field. Oh, he almost made contact there with the 24 and the 5. Fireworks there on pit road. Let's see if we can pull this 37 machine up to the broadcast booth. Jake, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
We got a copy.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you were playing your music, man, getting crazy. But hey, 37 machine doing really well tonight. Looked like you were one of the strongest cars in both stints early on in this race. But man, it looked like you decided to turn it on there. Do you have anything here for this 67 machine?
I think we do. I'm hoping it stays green the rest of the way because I feel like that's where I was excelling and really just catching up and passing the field. I had a bad quali, so I had to start from the back, as I think everybody saw, and work my way up. But just being consistent in those corners is really key, man. You can't push it in too hard, otherwise you're just going to eat that right front up.
Well, you have definitely been doing that. Like I said, I think once we get about 15 laps on these tires, it looks like you were the fastest in the field. So, you know, good luck here on this restart. About 20 to go, so you'll go green with about 19 to go. You got any shout outs you want to give before we drive you back there to hyperspeed?
I just want to give a shout out to everybody watching me, my girlfriend, Top Tier Racing as well, and anybody else.
All right, man. Well, good luck. We'll let you get back to your team.
All right, thanks.
Man, that intro music was something else there for the 37. Man, he sounds pretty confident, folks. I don't know. He's got a lot of confidence coming into this. He wants this thing to go green. I don't know. He feels like he's up on the edge of your seat. I don't know if you all felt that, but it just sounds like he is ready to go. Hey, Nate, in chat, appreciate you joining in. Rena saying, I was wondering about his qualifying. Yeah, it did look like he botched that. He is up 19 positions, but the man to beat is going to be that 67 machine. He has led every single one of these green flag laps, and he is going to do that yet again now as he takes that green flag and gets out to a pretty nice jump here in the 67. 37 with a great jump as well. He was able to time that nicely, get himself down into that preferred line here through 1 and 2. Matt is going to be able to jump Nick. Now Christian Proctor with a big drive off of the exit of 2. Matt is super aggressive right now. 19 laps to go. This is definitely not what the 37 wanted to see. Another driver battling him as he wanted to get back up there, but it does look like Alex with about a 0.6 of a second lead. Now we could be 3 as Christian is going to be down to the bottom. Nick in the center. Christian sending that car down in there to the entry of 3 and 4. 18 laps to go. Start finish line now. 17 to go. A second gap is going to separate your leader. Matt is on the outside making this outside line work. I don't think he's going to get the run. He cannot get the run off, but we are going to be 3 and it's going to get tight. Christian forcing that car in there. It looks like Nick is going to back out of that battle. Christian back down on the apron. He is loose. He's going to be loose on the X. He's going to get in the wall hard. Big damage. Big damage by Christian. You saw that front end shake around. He has to have heavy right front damage on that car. Oh, man, now the 24 into the wall. These drivers are giving it everything that they have. Alex Anderson out here on cruise control yet again. Coming to 15 to go here at the start-finish line. Your battle here for second and third. Jake trying to hold off Matt, but it does look like Jake is going to start pushing a little bit harder. As you saw him a little loose on the exit there of 2. Now 1.2 the gap. Nick tied up again with the 85. Davis having a fantastic run tonight. Really has had a great run. Now we're going to go back up here because it does look like Matt has been able to find some speed here on the outside. Oh, he's going to get loose and have to swing back down, and that is going to allow the 37 to stay in that position. All of that battling has been able to bring Nick Baum back into the fight here. .4 your lead. Alex Anderson just doing what he has done already several times. We talked about the 37 having bad qualifying run there at Iowa. The 67 did as well, and he marched his way through that field. Oh, and the caution is out. It looks like Jim in that 59 machine registered as a crash. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Thorndike. Oh, Christian loose here. Oh, and Christian's going to get up and he's going to tap the 59. We know that Christian had some pretty heavy damage earlier on. And it does look like he is going to lock the tires up. Hopefully no additional accidents. It does look like he is going to get away from this fairly unscathed. Now he is going to have to lose quite a few positions, but Rena there saying boo in the chat. I completely agree. You really wanted to see this thing play out there for those last 10 laps. We'll tell you this 72, I'm just trying to find people. You know, Alex has done such a great job managing the pace of this race, getting out on these restarts, putting some gap on this field and maintaining that gap. Some of these drivers coming down. Now, what's going to happen? 67 is not going to come down. He's going to play a bit of chicken. We did have quite a few drivers. Nick Raffini is going to come down. Austin is going to come down. Proctor, we saw that damage. He is coming down. But that 72 has looked fairly sporty on fresh tires as well. He's really getting that outside to hook, getting it to work. But I just don't know. We have not seen anyone that can challenge this 67 machine. Revved Up Racing looks like they are going to go 3 for 3 unless something happens. All right, so it looks like when we go back, we'll have about 8 laps. 8 laps left. Couple of takeaways that we can already think about tonight. There is a lot of drivers that are thinking about tire wear. They're really, as you can see, some comers and goers. You've got some drivers that are all gas pedal, and you love to see that, especially on these short runs. And then you've got some drivers that think about the long run, think about the skill it's going to take to keep those tires under control, keep the heat out of those tires. We've seen a lot tonight Alex Anderson, another one of those drivers that has just shown to be fairly dominant. Great run last week before he had his incident. Picking up a win there at the plate race for our first race, and now a great dominant performance tonight. I would say early on in this season, that is the gentleman there that you want to keep your eye out for. Kenny, your winner last week, hopped in the chat early on, so either some problems there with Kenny or some early race issues. But here we go, folks. These are the drivers that are trying to win this race, the 67 dominant all race long. Now, can he get a contender? Is there somebody sitting back in this top 4, in this top 7, that can find their way around this driver? And here he goes, Alex Anderson in that Geico restart zone. He's going to hit that gas pedal. Not the great start that I think that he wanted, but what that did do is it allowed Matt to get underneath of the 37 of Jake. And it does look like Matt is going to be able to clear that 37 machine. Man, so Matt is going to have a shot at this thing. Alex nailing that restart. 0.4 of a second now is going to separate these two. 7 laps to go. Matt still working that middle line in 1 and 2. Now 0.4 of a second still separating them. He is going to get some draft here. Jake in the 37 all over the back end of the 72. Oh, the 04 Raffini all over Nick Baum there in the back. Half a second now separating these two. It does look like Alex starting to spread this out just a little bit, gaining a 10th on these two drivers. Raffini is going to get that pass done, put Nick back one more spot to 59 through the grass. Still through the grass. He's going to hop back up and have to let off of that throttle. So Thorndike is going to slip back a little bit. Now the 37 with a great exit of 2 is going to be right underneath of Matt. He is going to go for the second position. All the while, that allows Anderson just to move further and further ahead. The 37 is going to get this done. 4 laps now. Half a second separates your leader and second position. Raffini once again later on in these races finding all of the speed. Now working, trying to get himself in position for a podium. Jake playing a bit of defense down that backstretch. That's going to slow him down to your leader. And now we have a 3-way battle. Matt back to the outside. Now Raffini even wider than him. Down to the bottom is the 37 on the outside, the 72. He is going to try to cut back down right across the nose there of Raffini. What a battle for your podium spots. That's second, third, and fourth. And now the spin is going to happen there with the 72. Caution is going to come out. Oh, man, I believe they had that saved. But this is going to put us into an overtime situation. Matt is going to try to get his spot back. That caution come out so quickly, he might be able to get his spot back. Man, that is tough. Let's see. We're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, folks, because we do not have that registered for us. Just hard to tell. Let's see if we can go back and see if we can get to a Raffini spot. And let's just go on board and take a look. Oh, yeah, it just looks like maybe he timed that wrong, or he was going to shoot to the outside and just got right into the back of the 72 and just rotated him around. And it does look like the 72 is going to lose a few positions. Now, he is going to be all the way back to 7th spot here. Caution out on the track. Man, some additional fireworks laid on in this race. This is going to be a green, white, checkered. Alex needing one more good start and to get himself back to that line where that white flag can come out. Woo! I'll tell you, folks, it's a good thing that I'm up here in the booth broadcasting this thing, and I am not race control, because that is going to be a tough situation right there to figure out what they need to do. But now we're going to reset this thing because they can't focus on that. Right now, they've got to focus on what is out in front of them, and what they have is that 67 machine with such a dominant race so far tonight. Looking for yet another win. He wants 2 out of 3. Revved Up Racing wants 3 out of 3. They want to sweep the first 3 races of this season. And you can see those caution lights are going to go out on your pace car, meaning we are going back to green. We are going to have green, white, checkered overtime tonight here at Texas. 72 is probably going to be driving with everything that he has, trying to work his way back up. As it sits right now, you've got Anderson, Raven, Raffini is going to be your top 3. Nick Baum is going to be on the outside of the 37. They're going to try to time this start to stay a bit closer. It looks like Alex has been able to get out to half a second lead, maybe even sometimes 6-7 of a second lead within that first lap. They cannot afford that. So here we go, folks. Hopefully one more green flag is going to decide this race. You can see them now poking out around on the exit of turn 4. Green flag in the hands here of the flagman. And there he goes. Great start. And it does look like Raffini with a great start as well. That is going to put him well on the inside there of the 37. He's going to get that pass done quick and easy. The 04 is going to push a little wide through 1 and 2, but he is going to get a great exit. Matt now all the way back up from 7th spot. He is all over the back end of the 59. Raffini closer than anyone else has been so far tonight. Now, final lap. The 04 all over the back end of the 67. Does he have something coming down the backstretch? It looks like he's going to push wide, and that is not going to help him. He's going to get a ton of draft. Now the 37 is going to poke to the inside. Here we go. Battle for second position. 37 to the bottom. 04 pushing wide. That's going to cost him second position, folks. That pass being done now by the 37. 04 is going to wind up third. 59 is going to get fourth. The 72 is going to wind up in that fifth position. Still not happy about what happened later on in that race. As the drama spills over to past the checkered flag, but this man lights out tonight, unable to get caught. 67, Alex Anderson putting number 2 in the books this season, and he is going to burn that thing down and heavy into the wall. So Kenny's going to have to spend a little bit of time with him in practice on making those donuts a bit tighter, Kenny, so that we can keep ourselves off of the wall. There he goes. Now there's some nice tight spirals. All right, as we watch him burn this thing down, let's see if we can show the results here for the race. And we're going to try to bring that back to the front. Maybe. And it does not look like that wants to work for us, folks. Let's see if we can hide that. And bring that thing back up. There we go. So Alex Anderson, your winner. Jake is going to be second. Nick Raffini in third. Thorndike is going to be in fourth. Matt in fifth. Davis sixth. Nick Baum in seventh. That was my pick for tonight. Austin is going to be in eighth. Christian Proctor, with that damage, able to work his way back up to ninth. Shane is going to be in 10th. Robert in 11th. Jeremy Gill 12th. Zach White in 13th. Chandler Paul 14th. Drafty in 15th. Or Robert White 16th. JD Van Kirk is going to be in 17th. And it does. There we go. Jack Raffini is going to be in 18th. Ledesma in 19th. Such a great run for Ledesma to finish in 19th. Hate to see that. Dylan Jacobs is in 20th. Dan 21st. Rob Higgs in 22nd. Dylan in 23rd. And it looks like Kenny is going to round out our 24 drivers for tonight. All right, so let's see if we can find our drivers. They've got to be somewhere, folks. We're going to see if we can get them on board with us. Let's see if we can pull them up here and have a quick conversation with them. All right. So let's see if we can find some of these drivers, folks. All right. So out there in chat saying great race. Congrats on the second, Jake. And then great race, everyone, from Rachel. And then Jake Raven from FFF Bomb saying nicely done. We know that gentleman too, that triple F bomb. Believe I've talked to him a few times. All right, let's see if we can get some drivers out here in the broadcast booth and have some conversations with them. It does look like we've got Nick there in the chat, so let's bring him up. Nick, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Well, man, I will tell you, I am glad my DMs will be nice and silent tonight. Maybe not yours, but we talked about this a little bit earlier on in the race, where just seems like early on in these short runs with fresh tires, super aggressive, really quick car, you know, kind of mid to even the back of the pack a little bit sometimes tonight. But man, there you are, finding your way up to the front near the end of this race. Walk me through you and the 72's contact, and really what that strategy was to get yourself up front at the end of this thing.
I mean, the strategy really was learning the track. I did not put enough practice in on this, so I was kind of behind the 8 ball the whole time. But you know, that contact with the 72, it's unfortunate. I didn't mean to get into him. I've been, you know, sitting behind him and Jake for a couple laps, trying to give everybody a little bit of room while I still had some fresh tires, and I just grabbed a little bit more throttle than I was hoping to, and he just wasn't quite ready to go, and just misjudged it a little bit. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, you know, and that always happens. You know, it's so close. The racing is so tight. You really want to get everything that you can. And it certainly did look like maybe at some points there, it did look like he throttled up a little bit slower. But man, you bring home a top 3. You've got to love that. I mean, the season looks really bright. You've shown yourself to be a super strong on short tracks, on short runs. And now you come to this intermediate track. Walk me through what you think, you know, the rest of this season is going to look like for you.
I think there's still some ups and downs for me this season, if last season's anything like this one. But I'll just have to keep practicing, keep my nose down, and keep trying to talk to you at the end of the race.
Man, well, you did it. We certainly appreciate the time that you are giving us to talk to you right now, and we'll turn it over to you, Nick, and let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, absolutely revved up. I mean, this team's great. Couldn't pick a better group of guys. But yeah, just I'll leave it at that. Thank you, and thanks for the broadcast.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job. Congratulations, man, on a 3rd place finish.
Thank you.
All right, so there is Nick. Maybe we tried to pull a little drama out of him, folks. Maybe we didn't, but we'll see how that goes next week. So let's see if we can pull this 2nd place driver here into the broadcast booth. Jake, this is John. You in the booth. You got a copy? We didn't. We did not get him. Let's try him again. Jake, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
I will tell you, man, there's something about your entrance music that you've got to love. Well, we talked a little bit before we went back green. Lots of fireworks going on near the end of that race. It was nip and tuck. It looked like a couple of drivers got some really good restarts on you. And then, man, once those tires come in or you got back in that rhythm, able to power back, you know, by them, you pick up the 2nd place, making that pass on the last lap. Man, walk me through like the last 20 laps of this race.
Oh, man. The 20 laps, I was just thinking, why do we have to keep going back under caution? I know my restarts aren't good. I don't know how these guys are restarting so fast. I didn't care too much about the first couple because I was starting on the inside, so I was already down there and I could hold the line that I was comfortable with. But those last 2, I was on the outside, and I just had to let the guy go in front of me that was on my inside. Just dropping the position so that way I could get to where I knew I could hold everyone else off. That high line just wasn't there tonight. And Nick was pushing real hard. He was on 11 lap newer tires, and I saw him coming up in my rear view mirror. He was pushing real hard into 1 and 2. I was hoping he was just going to burn those tires up. It didn't look like it really worked out like that. He got on the throttle too quick. It looked like coming out of 2, and he had to let off so much with the run that I got. I was just able to speed past him. And if you heard me in the team chat, I'm just yelling at him. I'm like, yeah, that's right. You don't take this position from me. And I just drove it right through to the finish line.
Well, listen, it's always good to talk a little in the chat, right? So, but man, you were super fast all night long. You talked about having a bad qualifying. You know, as it is said and done for tonight, you were up 19 positions from your starting position. Fantastic job. Great 2nd place, well deserved and well earned tonight. Man, you got to take a little bit of a breather here, but we'll turn it over to you and let you give your shout outs.
I do. I'm going to give a shout out to all the top tier guys for putting this on. It's been a great season so far. Hoping that the next 12 races, I think it is going to be exactly the same. Again, another shout out to my girlfriend. She's always rooting me on in chat. Also, congratulations to her. She also got her driver's license today.
All right.
So we're real proud of her for that. Got to thank my teammates. We're always just talking and strategizing in chat, trying to make sure we're trying to keep each other in the race if we can. And shout out to you as well for putting on a great broadcast that we can go back and watch if we need to.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. But I will tell you got to be excited with this one. Like I said, it was hard fought, but it was well deserved and well earned. So congratulations, man. Hope to speak to you again next week.
That's the plan. I'm hoping.
All right. Thanks. So there you've got it. There is your second place driver, and that's that 37 machine there of Jake. Now let's talk to the man here, Alex Anderson. Let's see if we can get him in the booth. Alex, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Well, man, I will tell you, we didn't get to see a whole lot tonight because start to finish, I think at one point I said, man, if it wasn't for a caution, you have led every green flag lap tonight. Able to put that thing on pole, set sail, tires come in, you were the fastest car, started to stretch out that lead. Jake kind of gave you a run there later on, but man, walk me through what it was like to get through some of these restarts, because that's always the nerve-wracking part. You know you had the quickest car, but you never know what's going to happen on the restarts. And man, how did you get around this track better than everyone else?
Well, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I did actually hit a grand slam pole, led every lap, fastest lap, and a win. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it was really tight. So I'm gonna be honest. The car was actually really annoying to work with because it's just so much off throttle time through the corners. But that's like, I knew, like, as soon as I drove the car for half a lap, I was like, okay, it's gonna be a tire race. So I don't know, just minimal steering inputs, being careful, being precise, making sure to not slam the wall. I actually don't think I tapped the wall once, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. And then the restarts, I actually, on the initial start, I messed up because I put it in first gear, because we had, like, first gear was rolling around 6,500 RPM, so I thought it'd be enough. And I spun the tires and I almost died. So learned from that, and then it was just kind of controlling the restarts through the zone and smooth sailing from there. And yeah, fun race. Once we got the long runs, I like the saving tire part of it. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic job by you, man. And if you look at it, had a back qualifying run there at Iowa, but you were able to work your way up. Little bobble at the end cost you some positions, but man, you had a fast car there. You win at a plate race, and then you come to this intermediate track and win. Man, you've got to be really proud of really these three races on your performance overall. Couple bobbles, okay, we'll take the Iowa thing, we get it. Still had a really fast car there, and you've got to think, man, you are going to be that driver to beat this year. So congratulations here, man, on yet another win. That's 2 out of 3 for this season, and we'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
I gotta be honest. Okay, before we get that, I gotta be honest. I'm so frustrated about Iowa. I was on the phone with somebody and I zoned out for like a half a second. And I was like, "Oh, we're not on the track anymore." But anyways, yeah, I felt like I could have won that too. Whatever. First off, gotta shout out my parents, biggest sponsors. None of this would be possible without them. So thank you, Mom and Dad. Thanks everybody back at the Revved Up shop giving me this nice Chevy Monte Carlo. That's what it is. Yep, Monte Carlo. Rolling around here in Texas. Thanks to everybody at Top Tier for putting on the show for us all. Thanks to you, John, for putting on the broadcast for us, getting us out there. I think that's all I got. So you have a great night, good sir.
Man, you as well. And I won't bring up the Iowa thing anymore. We'll just leave it at that. How about that? But
what are you talking about?
That's right. So fantastic job. Congratulations on another win, my friend.
Thank you. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too. All right, so there you've got it. Alex Anderson, bring it home. Yet another win, 2 for 3 now this season. So we are going to take you to Auto Club next week. That's going to be the same time, same place that you've seen us right here on Royalty Racing Network. So make sure that you tune in. We want to hear you out there in chat. Thank you, everybody that participated in this. But congratulations to your top 3 drivers, and we will see you next week. Thank you again.